Like ain't enabled, but it's calling my name, so you know I have to do this. Said I'm the best, so sit back and watch me prove it. Watch me prove it.
You read a lot of books.
So okay. I used to read a lot, like in terms of for enjoyment. You mean like just for like leisure? Yeah. So since doing this degree, I don't read for fun anymore. I don't really read for fun like
reading
that.
isn't fun.
Like as in, I enjoy it. I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
But which is why I'm obviously doing a course which is heavily based on reading. But if I'm trying to like relax, best believe I'm watching a film or like a series or like going somewhere like as opposed to like sitting down to read like for fun. But the thing I like about
doing plugs right now, I just gotta say, people them. See how I'm stretching to get in my own frame. Basically, if you want to get men's accessories, I want you guys to go to trendhim.co.uk and use my link Royal15 at checkout for 15% off. You get watches. I don't know if you can see it. In fact, I'm gonna come and do a close up for you guys. Watches, bracelet, rings with personalization, because I got Jeremiah 2911 inscribed on the inside, and I'm wearing blue light glasses right now, guys. Blue light glasses that also have clip-on sunglasses.
Because I've liked reading for a long time. Like when I was young, like from young, like primary school, like for me, like the idea of like my idea of fun was like actually getting a book and getting into it.
This girl,
like,
man.
Oh wow. And the way you can get lost in the world, lost in the plot.
True.
I was like, wow, like this is fun, this is good. So I think for me, that's where like the love of reading started, because I really liked being like submerged in that world.
Yeah.
You're involved and so I like it. But I'd say now definitely it's not that I don't enjoy it, but less so because of the fact that I do it like every single day anyway.
So you have to read it anyway. Yeah. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite book?
Oh, that question is hard,
Yeah. Big reader. Like, at least like one book. You don't have to like give your favorite, but like just one that's up there in your mind.
think, to be honest with you, is even one that I studied in my first year of English.
You mean
of studying English?
Isn't it? Oh wait, no, that was last year.
Yeah, well, my first year of studying English was last year.
Yeah.
So it was called The Underground Railroad. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I think I have actually.
Yeah, it's good. It's because for me, I really love like the whole like topic in English.
Is that about what was her name? I'm thinking of one of the Seacole. No, it wasn't C. No.
Mary C. Cole.
No, I don't think it was her.
No.
Oh, one of these other. I forgot. No, Tubman.
It's like it's the novel is loosely based off of the historical. Yeah.
I know my black heroes. I know my black heroes. Come on
now, Black history. But so I found that really interesting, because I think in English, like the thing about English, you can talk about anything in terms of topics.
Yeah.
And so a topic that I really enjoy is like race, and looking at like the history of that and like how it's influenced novels, and like why choices have been made. Because we even studied, there was even a novel that we studied. It was called Lovecraft Country. And my goodness, hey, that book is so interesting. Even there's like a film adaptation of it as well. Jonathan Majors is in it. He's in it. So, check it out.
That was the guy from Creed, right?
Yeah.
Have you watched Creed?
Yes, I have watched Creed.
What were your thoughts on the
Creed? Okay, so I was thinking
Have you watched the other ones?
No, see, I haven't. So I feel like I can't even bring a whole
I feel like you're about to say, it was 10 out of 10.
No, to be honest with you. Because for me, with Creed, I think the cinematography of Creed, like the visuals were like, they were good. They were top tier.
Yeah, basically they carried
in terms of like the actual shots, I was thinking, wow, like this is very advanced. But the plot line, it wasn't bad, but it felt very linear. Like there wasn't very much going on. Like it was very much this happens, and this is the end. Like, do you know what I mean? I think there could have been more layers.
Yeah.
So, and it was actually quite a short film. Like I felt like, even though it was 2 hours, which is, relatively average for a film, I felt like it just kind of happened. Like I blinked and it was over.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, now you're even choking. Creed wasn't that bad.
Man,
nah, but
I have to take the L for that one.
Sound effects.
But
yeah,
I think I agree. One thing they bang out is cinematography. But have you seen, if you watch the second one though, I think the cinematography in that one's even better. Like,
is it?
I remember watching, I think I was watching it on a plane to the States,
Yeah.
And I felt like I was getting punched
really?
up. Like I was watching it, bro. the way like the camera swings in his head, I felt like I was getting banged. Like
No, literally.
that one I think is up there.
Yeah.
For real. But yeah, it did feel very linear and everything seemed kind of obvious.
Yeah,
like, in terms of the storyline.
Because for me, it's about the layers of the plot when it comes to any film, any series. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I was saying last week, like that's why I love Batman. Because I feel like he's such a layered.
Do you know
character.
what? I don't know too much about Batman. DC. Yeah, I've not checked out Tita.
Nah, but I think but DC characters are more layered than
probably.
Marvel,
To be
Marvel
fair,
characters.
probably. I haven't actually checked. I need to. Though.
Marvel characters, in my opinion, are quite surface level.
I think it's because it's kind of predictable sometimes.
Yeah,
you kind of know what's going to happen.
Like in the last Batman film, he didn't win. You know, in these superhero films, like they always win at the end.
I kind of love that though.
The Avengers died,
it's for
bro.
them to win.
The Avengers died, and then they came back to life to beat Thanos. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, they didn't die. They just blipped. Please, let's get it correct.
Blipped.
Yeah.
It was a blip to let this guy get all the Infinity Stones. But with the last Batman movie, I know that it was the Riddler, and it was just a thing where like he still lost everything that he loved, but in the end he stopped the villains. But it was a case of like that isn't a complete win, and I just appreciate the fact like the film just was real with it, and he was just like, yeah, like I'm Batman. No, I was doing that last year.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the GOAT for real. That's the GOAT for real.
I haven't even I've not watched one Batman film.
If you're gonna watch any of them, watch The Dark Knight.
Is that the first one?
Second.
Should I watch in order? Or
you don't. I think they have subtle references to the first one in Dark Knight, but you don't really. I wouldn't say you have to.
Oh, okay.
Like it's not a prerequisite.
Yeah. Okay, I'll watch it. I'll check it out.
Yeah. But no, we were talking about books. We were talking about books.
Oh,
and then Creed. I was trying to figure out what did you say that led us to Creed?
Oh, Jonathan Majors in Lovecraft Country. Yeah. So I think what I was gonna say about like with the whole topic of race, like because the book The Underground Railroad. It's about like the process of escaping from like what's it called? It's very what's it even called? Like the plantation. The plantation. And there's just so many like layers to the book and like so many things that happen. And I think the reason why I like it is because it keeps it so real in terms of what people actually had to like experience and go through. Like you can kind of like you're kind of walked through, even though it's fictional, like this is actually what happened, you know. And then even in Lovecraft Country, there was these things called sundown towns that we found out about through the novel. And like I was like, wow, like basically, long story short.
Yeah, what's a sundown town?
If you're in certain states in America, if you're black and you're caught in that state, but like as the sun is like going down, so sundown, like legally, like you can be shot, like you can be killed by the police, like you can be killed.
How are some of these things even rules?
And like I was like, and we saw it in the film, and so in the film, or no, it was not a film, it's a series. In one of the episodes, like Jonathan Majors and the other characters basically had to get, like they were driving and the police people were behind them, because if they weren't out of, because obviously it's like a district, so if they're out of it, then okay, cool, they don't get shot or killed. But like if they were in and the sun had gone down, they could have been legally like killed. So I was like, wow, like the tension, I was like, this is so interesting. So
yeah, that would be crazy. Now you're racing against
just because sun. Yeah, like what the hell? Just because of your color, your race. So yeah, I find race and like like colonialism, all of that, like historical stuff, very interesting. Yeah.
Nah, I think I'm definitely along the same lines. I probably tend to watch like maybe documentaries or like stories based on real things, like more than I read books about it.
Yeah.
I think like that's kind of where my interest for books stemmed from. It stemmed from like basically Batman again.
Oh, Batman! This Batman.
Yeah, so I think I started looking at character analysis.
Is it?
Yeah, of like just the Joker, because I found that his character, the performance,
really
amazing, and just the Batman in general, like all the layers that were presented in the film. So I just started looking at character analysis and plot summaries and stuff, like people's interpretation, just for fun.
Oh, okay.
And then I realized like, yo, like this is like what they do in English, but like I'm doing it with films.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Like I kind of realized, because I used to hate English, I think it's so boring. But I used to realize like some of these things, they do have interesting topics. I guess Lord of the Flies I thought was an interesting book. And then looking into when I was reading the revision guide, I mentioned George Orwell.
Yeah.
So 1984, That's been on my list to read. I read Animal Farm, a picture book of Animal Farm, but just because I was intrigued to see the storyline and its symbolism.
Yeah.
What have I read recently? Actually, no. I'm planning on reading Half of a Yellow Sun. I don't know if you know that book.
I've not read it, but I know of it.
My parents, they had 2 copies, and I was just like, this book seems like it was something.
Yeah.
I've read like a little summary. Apparently, it's basically about 60s Nigeria.
Oh wow. Okay.
And the Biafra War and basically the civil war that was outbreaking at the time. And yeah, it's following the story, I think, of a couple going through that. So yeah, I'm just intrigued to like hear experiences of people on the floor and kind of just get that connection and just better understanding on how the things happening as a whole.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what draws me the most to it. Like, I just like to understand how things were like. When Netflix were dropping all those Black History films, I watched all of them.
Did you?
I was watching them. The 13th.
No, stop. Listen, when they see us. Hey.
Yeah. No, I think I cried when I watched that, actually.
Yeah. Do you know, I actually haven't seen it yet, you know.
When they see us.
Yeah, because I'm like, hey, this one. Apparently it's intense.
I think if you see it, you'll probably, I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Everybody has said they've cried, so I'll probably cry see.
Because I said one episode, I said with Elizabeth and Kitan when they were on, I was like, I don't even cry like that. But this was, I think I watched When They See Us. Well, whenever it came out, I think it was 2017, like year 9.
Yeah, okay.
I think,
so it's been out, like.
Yeah, so I think I watched it then. Yeah, I can't lie, man. When I saw Corey like in the station, I was just like, tear just fell.
It streamed. Yeah.
But what I've been reading recently is this book called Be More Pirate.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got gifted it over Christmas.
Yeah.
And my mom, she gave it to like one of my friends as well.
Yeah.
And basically, it's like, I think it's an entrepreneurship book. It's interesting because like the book doesn't necessarily outline like its full purpose. When you start reading it, it kind of just said, we're gonna like talk about pirates and see like what we can learn from them, what we can take from them.
When you say pirate, you mean like a literal pirate?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, the book follows the history of pirates and some famous pirates like Blackbeard, Bonnie, and I can't remember all of them.
Is it Bonnie and Clyde? Me, I don't know.
No. Like Bonnie was the last name, was the guy. So basically, it was just talking about how pirates they go against the status quo, go against the grain.
Okay.
They don't just break rules, but they rewrite them as well to like suit their community and their society.
Yeah.
And basically, it was just talking about being a social entrepreneur and like doing things that make change, but then also, doing things to make positive change, but then also like, building a brand and building like a movement, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think kind of that building the movement kind of stems around having that positive change because it says you need to know your why. So I was reading that and
that's interesting. You need to know your why.
Yeah,
that's quite interesting.
With everything that you do, and it can help you justify, your reasons for doing things better. I think I was even on a conference call with the Graduate Engineering Engagement Program with the Winslow Fellowship in conjunction with the Royal Academy of Engineering.
Okay, lay it out.
No. I'm just saying this in case someone wants to, in case people want to enroll for next year. I would actually highly recommend. I think it's been really useful. So
what was that about?
The whole scheme. Yeah. Okay, so basically, because I just saw it in a BAME engineers group chat, I signed up because like sign up for everything, innit? So we had to fill out an independent development personal plan. And send it off to like someone to like check it. They sign it off, and they're like, cool. But then they just basically host a bunch of skills and competency workshops in terms of like building networking skills, using LinkedIn properly, and they have like networking sessions with company partners. So a lot of these companies, I think I even applied for placement with.
Oh, okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean they all rejected me, but like.
But at least opportunity.
Yeah. So like, but it's just getting a chance to speak to them face to face, to ask them what they're looking for. Like you can really ask those questions and understand those things more. Yeah. And then if they weren't doing the skills and I think networking sessions, I think they had like competency and they would do like insight sessions. So they'll talk about regeneration in engineering or like the future of technology and just things like that to like get you thinking about like where the field's going.
Yeah.
Engineering is actually sick, by the way.
I feel like it's very like you can do like a lot with it.
Yeah, like. It's sick. Like I'll be honest, like, I wasn't sure, but that you gotta enjoy it, like, because it's just so broad, and you can just learn about so many different things, and it, again, like I said, everything in this world is interdependent, so like we need all the information anyway.
Definitely.
But where was I even going with it? So yeah, I think I did that program, and I did that program, and I was in one of the networking sessions. I can't remember what company this guy worked for, but what he said, like, this guy was so inspirational, because usually
really?
like the company like partners, they come on and they're just like, yeah, ask your questions, and they just kind of do the simple thing.
Oh, okay.
They're lovely, don't get me wrong, they're lovely, but like sometimes it just feels like
it's not really there.
Yeah. But this guy, he just said, oh, what's your name? Okay, I like that. Say it again with some passion. Like, he was not like going back and forth.
Yeah.
So then, man, I remember it gets to me. I introduced myself. Yeah, I'm Royal. Oh, I study mechanical engineering. I like to do building services. He's like, why? Usually they would just be like, oh yeah, on to the next person. But he was like, why? I was like, yeah, because I'm really interested in buildings, and like I want to be in the field. Okay, why? Like, I was like, I was like, okay, like this guy's different. And then I started saying, like, I've never thought this deeply about it before. Then I now came up with an answer, like how basically I feel like it gives me a way to kind of change the world, as we see it, like bit by bit. And then he was like, that's your why. That's what you do. And I was just like, damn, like, so like when I read that in a book, it just resonated with me a bit more. And I'm just
definitely,
like, yeah, like,
'cause you've heard it as well. So
yeah. And it definitely inspired me to, like, I guess, start this pod as well, like, because I was just like, yeah, like, who says I can't do a podcast? Like, rewrite the rules, make a new one. Here
definitely.
I am.
And what's your why for the pod? Why would you say you're doing it? Like,
yeah, because I don't even think I said this in the intro episode, but I feel like everyone who's been asking me on an individual level, I've been giving them the same answer.
Yeah.
But essentially, I just wanted to create a space for students, like students of any kind. I mean, so far I've just been getting my friends on, and I probably need to do more in terms of branching out. But I just wanted to create a space for students, for us to like share our experiences, laugh, yeah, but I guess it mainly share our experiences and have that open floor. And I hope that, I guess, people that are coming to uni that maybe are in some similar situations can have something they can kind of draw upon, and look to for advice from the older generation. But then, yeah, like besides just creating something positive for the youngers to like kind of look up to, it's also like for us all to like, just open up discussions on maybe things that we don't talk about in everyday life as well.
Definitely.
So for the deeper questions, because I feel like everyone thinks these things and we all have these questions, but you know, it's always interesting to hear more perspectives on it.
Definitely, I agree.
And just to explore people and their journey and their background as well a bit more.
For sure. I like that. I like the why.
Yeah,
you know the why behind it, which is
it was a comprehensive why. Like I was doing my thing.
Definitely.
Ooh. I wanted to ask you,
I
wanted to ask you about tattoos and like.
I knew this question was.
I just want to ask and just know, like, would you ever like get one?
It's a good question. You know, it's interesting because so I love art. I have like an art account that basically, because I did art for GCSE and A level.
Oh yeah.
So like, I like art. Like I like it. It's not just a little like
artiste. With an E
at
the end.
Gas myself.
I
won't gas myself up, but like I definitely like if it's something, you know, when there's always that like you're asked like, oh, if there's anything you could do like just out of enjoyment, what would that be? Like for a living, what would that be? For me, oh wow, that would be art. Like, because I love portraiture, especially. So to like paint portraits for people, this type of thing, like for like money or like basically as a job. Wow, yeah, that's like that would be so cool for me. So in terms of like this in relation with tattoos, for me personally, so with tattoos, like best believe the way it's always been told, like I don't know if it's a taboo or something, but it's like, oh, don't get tattoos. I personally I'm not really like giving it thought. I probably wouldn't, just because I feel like I don't necessarily
the permanency. Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest turn off for me. Like,
I think it's the fact it's on you for life type thing, and I just don't. For me personally, I don't necessarily feel like that's necessary, because for me, if I want to like, I don't know, I just don't really feel the need to like inscribe it on my body type.
Yeah, thing. I know what you mean.
I don't know. It doesn't really faze me. I've thought about it. Loads of people have thrown the question to me before. Like, it doesn't really faze me. I'm not really like, oh my gosh, tattoos. Like, but then I'm also not like, oh my gosh, like, oh, they're evil. Like, I'm not really like that fazed by them.
Why would you get cancelled? See,
do you know what?
You're saying you're gonna get cancelled. This has been such
man.
a on the fence response.
Nah,
like, you're not gonna get cancelled for this.
Listen, I think some people get quite aggressive with this topic. I don't know
Really?
why. The conversations and debates that I've been in, like,
man, I haven't met anyone like that.
People get like heated. I'm like, it's not for me. It's not that deep. Like, do what you would like prefer. Me, I'm not fazed by them, so I wouldn't get like a tattoo. I'm not like, it's not something I've really deep like that. But like, people sometimes are like, oh my gosh, like, I think it's because of like, there's like a stigma attached to people who do get them sometimes. I think obviously as like, you know, we're advancing, like, it's not really like an issue like that anymore. But I think back in the day,
no, definitely, like, there was probably a stigma against them. But I feel like some of them are changing. People are getting like small ones now, which I feel like isn't really too deep.
No, and I guess as well it's personal, because I know that usually, not always, but usually like tattoos have like symbolism behind it, like, meaning attached to it. So because I would only get them from that perspective. Like, I know some people, they're out here just drawing random things on their body. But for me, like, you know, like when they say wear your heart on your sleeve, I feel like with a tattoo, I'd essentially do that. Oh, okay.
But not literally put my heart on my sleeve.
On your sleeve, But
like, in terms of like, I feel like maybe my past experiences or like some of my trauma and just like, that's what I would have there. But then at the same time, why would I
like permanently
like basically permanently carry all my burdens with me in life?
Why burdens though? Like, why would it not be
what achievements?
Like, as in, because I think maybe you can elaborate. So for example, you're saying trauma, like burdens, would that be like a symbol to represent that, or like a whole paragraph? Do you know what I mean?
Nah, there'd probably be a symbol, a symbol or one or two words.
Oh, okay.
Maybe like a line, because you know, like, I have a way with words essentially. So I'll probably have like a quote on that.
Oh, okay.
Or like, just something that sounds so poetic and just put that down.
I know, I get that. Okay.
But I just feel like, I can't actually do, like, I've been thinking about it recently, just been like,
really?
I kind of want to do it, but then I'm like,
interesting,
I can't actually do it, like,
permanent.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah. I feel like temporary, because you know, like henna and stuff like that.
Yeah, the temporary
it looks so
stuff.
nice. It looks nice.
I might need to try it, to be fair, the temporary stuff. Yeah.
But then I feel like if you're doing the temporary, you're like, okay, cool, this looks nice. You might as well. I don't know. Hey, it's up to you though.
True.
And also, I've heard that like when you grow, like, it gets wrinkled. I said, yeah, it's okay. It's okay, because obviously as your skin ages and stuff. Yeah. But there's treatment, so you can just make it work. So,
that's true.
But yeah, that's my response to that. Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, have you ever been told off by strangers in like public?
That's so funny. Okay, do you want to lay it out a bit more?
So I was in the Diamond yesterday. I was in the other
personal
room.
Experience.
Yeah, no, it wasn't me directly though. But I was with like Chibs and Rhoda. Like, we were just talking in it, and then what's it called? This guy.
Yeah.
We're just talking. It's in the short stay study, not silent study. Short stay study.
Yeah.
This guy's just like, I think this is silent study. And then
when you say that, was he a student?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was sitting down doing work opposite.
Okay.
And then Chips was like, it's not actually, because like it actually isn't.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh well, like, do you mind being a bit quieter? Like, it's very loud.
Okay, yeah.
And I was just like, damn. Like, imagine being like, what is it like to be told? Well, obviously that happened, but like, do people get told off by strangers on a regular? Like, because as me myself, I don't know. I feel like it depends on the situation, but like usually I can't imagine where I'd have to just,
as in you yourself telling someone off.
Yeah.
I think for me, so is the question, have I been told off by a stranger before? Okay, I kind of have, but it wasn't like told it wasn't told off like that. It was so situation, scenario. Listen, I'm very gathered, so it's not nothing reckless, but it was just that I was in a rush and I was doing my laundry because I needed like the clothes to like get to where I needed to go. So I did my wash and then I moved it to come and use the dryers.
Yeah.
And so someone's dry, like it had finished, and something that happens, because obviously I'm in private accommodation, so like
Flexing.
something, I mean, not to flex or anything, but like something that happens quite a lot is like if your stuff has been in the dryer for a long time, people remove it and put it on the top of the dryer.
Nah,
And
I'm fuming.
Personally,
don't touch my clothes.
No, literally, that's happened to me maybe once before, and I was like, please, who's man handling my clothes? Like, it's actually okay. But in this situation, yeah, it was the dire need, and this stuff had been there for quite some time. So I said, I know, not to even justify, but like, I was like, I know, but this is the part where I'm about to land. So I said, I know for myself, because what I tried to, when I'm like trying to rationalize things, I think, would I want someone to do that to me? So I said, so I opened the dryer and I said, I can't lie, if someone did that to me, I'll be kind of annoyed. I don't really want people to touch my stuff. So I just opened it. As I opened it, whoever's belongings, who they were, they came in. And I was like, oh, you know, like, hello, like, you know, trying to be polite and everything. Because obviously it looked like I was about to, because I was just like, do I do it? I was like, do I do it? Do I not? Do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't, because in my head, if I was going to do, the thing would have been on top of there. I would have been doing, but I was just,
but it's just
mid-contemplation.
It's the optics.
The optics were kind of, you know, I was just like, oh, okay, cool. So like, so I said, hey. So she was just kind of, the way, because she was a bit older as well. Because I feel like sometimes the dynamic, if they're a bit older than you, you feel like, do you know what I mean? You're just like, what have I done type thing.
I mean,
I hadn't done anything wrong. Like, anyway, cool. So she was just kind of like, she was like, I was just coming. Something, she was kind of sassy with it. I said, because me, I like peace. I don't like problems. So I won't start any argument. I won't be rude. So I was just like, sorry, I was just in a rush, but I wasn't sure anyway. So I was going to wait. She was just coming on a bit of like, like sassy energy. So I said, So it wasn't like a telling off, but it was more of a like, it's like you're made to feel like, you've done something like not wrong, but you're like, you shouldn't have done that type thing.
Yeah, that you're in the wrong.
Yeah. So I think in that scenario, I was just kind of like, I felt some type of way, because I was like, first of all, I was like, the level of like response that I was getting to something I hadn't even yet done, I was like, do I do it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I was just kind of like, So even in that scenario, I think being told off, it can feel like, I think it depends on what it is. But for me, I was just kind of like, okay, like, yeah. So I don't know if it was told off, but I was just kind of like, you feel some type of way because you're like, have I done something wrong here? Yeah. So I guess with you and your like situation, like, did you feel bad?
I didn't feel bad.
Yeah, because obviously you weren't talking.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking, but like, I just came to talk briefly. I wasn't there to stay. Yeah. I was just like, oh.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
no, yeah, definitely. But I think it does depend on like the gravity of what it is. With that scenario of like the washing machine, it's not that deep. I didn't.
Talking inside.
Do you know what I mean?
Short stay study.
So I think if it's something that you know, as for that one, hey, that was bad. Like then you'll feel some type of way. But I knew it wasn't that deep, so I was like, okay,
fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in general though, as in terms of me telling other people off, I feel like if you're not like sort of in like intruding or kind of encroaching on my like well-being, I don't really feel like I need to. It also depends though, because I know that some people are more confrontational than others. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a confrontational person, but if I need to speak my mind or you're doing something that's disrupting, like you will know, but it will be very polite because I just feel like sometimes there's no need to be like hostile. Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Yeah, so I'd say that, to be fair. Yeah.
And quickly, I forgot to ask you earlier. It would have made sense if like I asked you this earlier. I feel like sometimes when I do these things, like my questions are low-key all over the place. Like it's not like
it's cool. It's flowing naturally. It's okay.
That's true. But like you do a lot of internships and like programs, like you've got your women's support group and your mentors. Like, and you're always in Birmingham.
Listen, let's not even go there.
for networking events. Like, I just want to, because this is obviously the why of the podcast, but I just wanted you to touch on that a bit more.
Yeah.
And how you like kind of secured all of these roles and like found these, found these opportunities for yourself.
Yeah. I think in terms of like networking and like really kind of growing and expanding your network, I think even like at the fundamental and like the foundation of that is like I think it's about really becoming the person that you want to be. So for example, for me, like I like I don't know, I like talking to new people, just learning from people, and just being like an open book in the sense of like being open to change, open to correction, you know, just basically like being open to learn. And I think having this outlook and this kind of like approach to things can really, like, it really helps when you apply it to networking, because now in this networking space, like a lot of the time when I'm networking, it's like, or when I'm like maybe looking for like opportunities in terms of, for example, there's like a lot of like networking events I've been to in London. A lot of them have been to do with law, actually, because I've still been trying to like understand like, okay, what am I trying to do in terms of going into this? So like, I think for me, what motivates me to apply or to even get involved is just, it's not necessarily like, oh, I have to be this person or I have to secure this role, because I guess these things can get very competitive.
True.
But it's, for me, it's never like, oh my gosh, I'm competing against everyone. I have to be the best. I have to be the top. I think it's about genuinely just like gathering wisdom, like, do you know what I mean? Like listening, learning from those who have gone before you, those who have been through like everything that you're potentially considering.
Do you like use a lot of resources then and a lot of information packs, watch YouTube videos?
So actually, to be honest with you, I haven't really like watched YouTube videos on how to network or how to secure connections. It's more like a lot of it is actually being open to conversations and just like genuinely like even, I don't know, because sometimes a lot of the time people, are we still on air? So with like a lot of the times, even in terms of securing these like roles, they'll happen in such a way that like I'm like, oh, that was unexpected. Like I didn't go out of my way to be like, I must come out of this with a role. Like, do you know what I mean? It's more, for example, LinkedIn, or like even, I think it's just really using the resources that are provided to you, because the university, the university that we attend, like they send you a lot, like they're very good with that. Like you'll know, like they'll, if there's like opportunities, they do everything they can to like inform you, like, you know. So I think with that, it's like, it's really good because you can seize that with like both hands. I think a lot of the time people, they kind of like ignore it or don't really take the opportunities that are like laid out in front of them. So I think that actually, because even like the internship that I did over the summer,
where was that at again? Just for the people.
Just for the people.
If you're allowed to say, of course.
I mean, no. So it was like a production company, local production company.
That's sick though.
Yeah. So it was really interesting. Like I learned so many things. I feel like also I even grew in terms of skills, like people skills, everything, like, and even just skills in general about like the workplace and like specifically that like industry. So I think it's also just about like seizing opportunities and not thinking like, oh, like I will do that later, because I feel like it's very easy to be like, oh, it's calm, like that opportunity will be waiting for me, type thing. So kind of just taking, and also not being like afraid to try new things, or feeling like it's going to be a waste of time, because sometimes, I mean, I've done things I'm like, please, why did I go to that event? Like it was a waste of time. But then actually it's not, because you always like learn something, even if it's that you learned that you don't want to do that. Like you've learned, okay, cool, this is something I'm not interested in anymore. So I think it's like being like in having an open mind always, and also like always thinking like, okay, what, like not putting too much pressure on yourself, thinking, okay, what can my next step be? But like it's not like I have to be at this destination, this, because like you can't control everything. That's true. What I've learned as well. So yeah. And
then like with like the support network that you kind of have around you, you built that through these networking events, or? Yeah,
so it's a mixture. So I think a lot of it's because I've been like trying to involve myself in like network spaces since like year 10, 11. So I did summer schools in different, like, so there was the University of Surrey summer school. Like, and I think in these spaces, even though like we were all in the same position, we were all in the same boat, all like having like taster sessions of the courses that we wanted to go into, actually like through like receiving their contact, keeping in touch, checking up, like building, I guess, even though a network is a network, it's also like a relationship, it's like a friendship as well. So I think for even building that, like you're able to learn, you're able to ask questions, like, you know, you can really expand even in your own personal knowledge. And then a connection is another connection, because they might know somebody that can help you in one way or another. So it's really about putting yourself out there, not being scared to even strike up a conversation, even if you feel like I'm a bit awkward, I don't know how to do this type thing. Just taking the step, because anyway, it's not gonna kill you. So yeah.
No, that's sick. I think it's really cool. Do you have an internship lined up for this year, or?
It's in the mix. It's in the mix. But it's happening.
You keep it on the low. Like I feel like I wouldn't know that like you're applying, but then you'll just be like, yeah, like I got a job. Like,
do you know what it is? I feel like sometimes it's also good not to make too much noise. Like when it comes to some of these things, I think not because you're trying to be like Mr. Mysterio or trying to be anything like that, but I think it's just,
you know, the vibes.
But I think it's just a thing where it's like, anyway, it's like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. It's not like I think it's a competition mindset as well. Sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, I must be on top, so therefore everyone must be below. Like it's never like that. So for me,
True.
I'll apply. If I get it, I get it, and it will be an opportunity to grow, learn all of this, and understand a bit more about what I want to do.
Okay.
If I don't, it's okay. We move on. We find something new. So like, I won't be like, guys, and be announcing, I've applied for this. Everybody, please, you know. So yeah.
What kind of roles are you looking at right now?
So kind of similar to what I did last year. So like there's many things. I think because I even like recently was like informed about like an internship program. So actually I'm gonna even shout this out. So it's called Creative Access, and it's specifically like aimed at people from like ethnic minority backgrounds, like BAME backgrounds. And it's basically like a space where, especially if you're creative access, so if like creative spaces such as production management, which I was talking about before, but also like journalism, like there's so many, like there's a lot. If you search creative access, like you'll see there's a lot of different industries, and basically it allows you to like it's like placements and internships, and you're basically able to, it's very good. Like a lot of it is funded as well, so they pay for a lot of it. And you're just able to kind of like have on the job experience of whatever the role is that you're wanting to go into. So for example, for production management, there's like on the job experience, like working with Sky actually. Which is pretty
big
cool.
One.
And I was like, okay, so I was even looking into that as well. But yeah, it's really good because then you're just able to like, you're able to practically see, okay, is this something I would like? And then if it is, then you can try and, because the thing is, they'll take you on as well. Like they'll usually keep you on if it's something that like you're interested in and they like you and things like this. And then if not as well, like, you know, so you can also like move on as well. So yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if this is, because I don't know if you're interested in production management, so this is maybe going like over your head. But
No.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued in like anything really. Like I'm an open book in terms of like what field I want to do.
Yeah.
That's why I've just been applying to like most of the things I can find.
Definitely.
But no, I'll check out this creative access thing.
It's good,
as well,
definitely.
See what it's saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there anything you want to say to the people?
I mean, I feel like I've laid the land. Like I've spoken about everything.
To be fair, we have.
Yeah.
And low-key, they might chase me out soon.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, my lease is up. No, I'm joking. But no, it's actually been such a pleasure having Alison on the show with me today. Listen, guys, she was dropping some gems, so I hope you listen to her. And yeah, man.
Thanks for having me as well, though. Thank you for having me.
I love when people say that. Like, no, thank you for thanking me for having you.
Please. No, but thank you though. I appreciate it. It's been good. I feel like it's a good platform, and also like what you're doing as well. It's good to have this space. I feel like it's like you can learn so much, and like I like how it's people from all different walks like and backgrounds. Yeah. And like I feel like I learn a lot as well. So it's good.
And I'm managing my own production.
Hey, sorry.
Hey guys, man. It's been Royal TMG. This has been the Face Your Books podcast. I'll see you guys next week. Take care. And face your books.
Like ain't enabled, but it's calling my name, so you know I have to do this. Said I'm the best, so sit back and watch me prove it.